Let's see, our next film contains a plot that basically sees Cheech and Chong combine with Clark Griswold in one unique adventure. Hello there to everyone in the land of cyberspace, and thanks again for returning to both Real Screen Reviews and We Live Film. I am movie critic Nick Iacobucci, and our next movie review is for We're the Millers. This R-rated and raunchy comedy opened in mid-August 2013, and it stars Jason Sudeikis, Jennifer Aniston, Will Poulter, Emma Roberts, and Ed Helms. We're the Millers comes to us from director Rawson Marshall Thurber, and he is the previous director of Dodgeball with Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller. After a long hiatus in the director's chair, he now returns to hopefully create something as funny as he did with his true underdog story. This tale tells of a drug dealer named David Clark that gets himself into a spot of trouble with some very unkind people. In order to get out of this trouble, he must cross the border with an ungodly amount of marijuana, and to do this he needs help. He hires a runaway, a stripper, and a kid that he knows to pose as his made-up family to help him get across the border and make this clever ruse succeed. Well, people, I am going to start with director Rawson Marshall Thurber, who really has quite a talent for making comedy and has me wondering why he doesn't make more movies. I thoroughly enjoyed Dodgeball from way back in 2004, and this film isn't as good as that one, but it is at least funny. Now, just like Dodgeball, We're the Millers at its heart is a true story that is being told, and it is anything but a collaboration of 5-minute Saturday Night Live skits strung together to make up 90 minutes. Also, through all of this sick and twisted humor, there were actual moments of sincerity, and even though these weren't the film's worst moments, they were below average. I thought that this film was humorous, but the insolent, rude, crude, and unsophisticated humor became too much in many spots. It reminded me of other R-rated vulgar comedies like Van Wilder or Bad Teacher, where it was funny here and there, but just not great when taken on a whole. Now, I will say that with this movie, Jason Sudeikis proves to me that he can hold a film together as long as it's the right film. As an actor, Sudeikis is really lucky because he's so damn likable as a person, and he is extremely easy to root for. He very much has an everyman quality about him, and when you mix that with his brilliant comedic timing, Sudeikis is just great. Not since Jim Carrey have I seen someone so destined to make the transition to dramatic roles, and I can see the likes of a James Stewart or a Henry Fonda down inside Sudeikis, unfortunately not in this standard or average movie. Jennifer Aniston is good in this film for the same reason that she was good in Horrible Bosses, and that reason is that she is doing something completely different. This is not Along Came Polly or Love Happens, and the fact that she is sexy as hell in both Horrible Bosses and We're the Millers doesn't hurt either. Her striptease was amazing, and she looks amazing. Emma Roberts portrays the rebel of the bunch, and of the 4 main players, loses out to the other 3 in terms of jokes. The young kid Will Poulter stole the show, though, more than a few times. This kid had me holding my stomach because I was laughing so much at him. He is freaking hysterical, and without him, the entire feature would have probably been barely tolerable. Then there are moments in the middle of the film that are deliberately meant to emotionally connect the main characters, but I thought that these scenes were completely laughable. This was also where the almost 2-hour running time in the movie felt lagging and slow. Then there are scenes and portions of the feature where out-and-out awkwardness fuels both the humor and the film itself, and I'm not saying that these scenes are bad, I'm just saying to be ready for them. Finally, I thought that it just took a bit too long to get the movie rolling, and then once it did, the second half really didn't save it. At right around 1 hour and 50 minutes, We're the Millers was too long and the definition of a wasted opportunity. This film is really rude and profane in spots where it couldn't find any intelligence, and I don't know what else to say except that this film made me laugh here and there, but has many faults as well. Jason Sudeikis and the others are solid and credible, but the scene stealer in this movie is Will Poulter, and he is simply worth the price of admission, in my opinion. I didn't hate this one, and I didn't love this one, and I laughed enough to wonder why everyone else is just kicking its ass. I don't know, but to me, maybe this one might turn out to be the comedy equivalent to The Lone Ranger. Nick's Real Screen Review is a generous, and I'm saying it's generous because I'm saying it's right down the middle, with 2 stars out of 4, and that's for the comedy We're the Millers. Well, I'm afraid that's all the time that I have today, and thanks so much for stopping by. If you have enjoyed this review, please click like below or subscribe to Real Screen Reviews or We Live Film if you haven't yet already. I'm sure that I'll be returning soon enough with more movie and trailer reviews, and until next time, people, this is Nick Iacobucci saying I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you for your attention.